Continuing on, I'm now going to show how to place a node. These are your catch basins, inlets, end sections, and head walls. I'm going to go ahead and select the feature definition that I want, and that'll be under Node, Stormwater, Catch Basin. I'm going to go ahead and select the Type 10 inlet. The first prompt it's going to give you is to select terrain for elevation, and you can do this or you can reset with any of these prompts. You can right click to reset and input your own information. For this example, we'll go ahead and use the proposed terrain that I have. Go ahead and left click, and to define the catch basin, the placement point matters. On this case, it's the edge of pavement. So I'm going to go ahead and select the edge of pavement here. And then it's going to prompt relative to an alignment. I do have an alignment and I want to do it perpendicular to the alignment, so I'll left click and I'll select that alignment. And I have it set up for 90 degrees from the alignment, so I'm going to go ahead and left click again. And we've placed our drainage inlet. If we want to look at it in the 2D and 3D view, we can go ahead and right click, view control, 2D and 3D. And we can see the 2D and 3D model displayed here. Most of the time it's easiest to lay out in 2D originally though, and modify as needed in the 3D, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And next, for this example, I'm going to go ahead and place a manhole in the center of the road, but I'm not going to rule it to the terrain or the alignment, just for examples purposes. If I need to get the finished ground elevation here, if I have drainage utilities open, under Home, I can go to Civil Analysis. Civil Analysis, I can analyze a point on an alignment or a terrain. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and select the terrain, and I'm getting 2201.97 as the finished grade elevation in the center of the road. When doing a drainage design, a lot of these are going to come in handy. Analyze between 2 points, you can find the slope between 2 points. Analyze trace slope, you can check where the drainage area is draining to. Essentially, it's like a trickle command, or it takes the contours and shows where the low points are. There's many different options here. Just keep in mind, for most of these, you will need a terrain that's output from the corridor to analyze any of this. Most of these will not work on the corridor model. And now to place the manhole, under the Drainage and Utilities ribbon, under Layout, place node again. I'm going to go ahead and come in here and select from Stormwater node, manholes. I'll just go ahead and use the precast manhole type 2, 60 inch. And because we already have an elevation and I don't want to rule it to the terrain, I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I'll put in my elevation we determined, and I'll put my placement point. And this time I'm not going to rule it to an alignment, so I'll leave it as absolute. You can lock the rotation or not. I'm going to left click, and since it's not locked right now, it'll let me determine how I want to place this. Just place it right here. And now the manhole's been placed. And now I'll place an end section at the end of the fill slope. This can be somewhat arbitrary, and so it's up to the user preference. The way I like to do it is I like to place it and then adjust it in the 3D view and review it per the contours. So I'm going to go ahead and go Drainage Utilities, Layout, Place Node. I'll close that, and I'll go to End Sections. I'm just going to go ahead and pick a circular concrete 18-inch end section. And I'm not going to snap to a terrain. I'll just reset the type and elevation. If I hover over this, you can see that the elevation is 2179. I'll just put that in for now. And I'll place it down here at the end of the fill slope. And I'll just select absolute, and I'll rotate it about there. And to move any of these drainage nodes, it's fairly simple. Just make sure you're clicking on the 2D model and there will be a handle. You can click this and move it horizontally however you'd like. I'll go ahead and place it down. And then also, if you need to change the orientation, if you go back to the 2D model, remember this is the 2D model I'm looking at, so I need to select the 2D cell to modify. If I have the 3D view open, it's the same except with the 3D model. And when I have this selected, you can see these handles here can change the rotation.